everyone, it's Beck here, and today I thought I'd do a bit of a video on watercolor pencils. Now, a few days ago, my friend messaged me saying that she wanted to start a new hobby for 2019 and that watercolor pencils was her preference and that she was just wanting to see what I knew about them and any tips and tricks and whatever. I'm not a professional watercolor pencil artist, but I do use just normal paints, but pencils I haven't used in absolute years. So I thought I would do a bit of a paint along, draw along with me and figure out how to use these, because I do have a rough understanding of them and I do know, basic techniques of it. So hopefully you can learn a thing or two and this whole video goes to plan. Okay. Obviously, using watercolor pencils involves buying specific watercolor branded pencils. Now, these are the Faber-Castell brand, and it doesn't matter what brand you use. If you're just starting out, it absolutely does not matter if you want to go really expensive or really cheap. These were only $9 from Big W, so that's fine for me. Cheap is okay. Okay, so next off, you obviously need paper. It doesn't matter what sort of quality paper, as long as it's watercolor paper. If you want to get Montmartre, it's how do you bloody say it? It's really cheap. Like, I got this from some dollar store for $7. So, it's good paper in my opinion. It is cheap. I do regularly use higher quality paper for my portraits, which you can find on my Instagram and my Facebook at Beckles Art. But for now, I'm more than happy to use this paper for my drawing today. So this is just a normal A4. It is 300 GSM. Now the GSM means the thickness of the paper. So with watercolor paper, it doesn't absorb the water too quickly, and so it doesn't damage the water. So that's what you want instead of using some normal printing paper, which I can easily show you the difference. So the difference between the papers is that this is your normal printing paper. It's very thin, you can tear it pretty easily. I'm not going to tear this one, but it's very thin. Even if I add some water to it, oh, gross. That was not a clean brush. So you add some water to it, not even much, and it absolutely soaks it. It goes straight through it. You can see on the other side, it's damaging it. And, I'm sure if I just went boop, and it's ripped. So that's why you don't use normal printing paper or any sort of normal lined paper or anything for any sort of watercolor painting. So we can just get rid of that. It really doesn't matter what brushes you use as long as they're not designed for oil paint. These are the Winsor & Newton Cotman round, well, this one's just a round brush, but they're very soft bristles. They keep the water in very easily and they apply it to the paper really well. These, however, are just cheap brushes. There's nothing really to them, although they are very soft and they do get the work done when you need them. Activate these pencils that we're about to use, we need water. So here is a nice little jar of water, nothing fancy about it, it's just water. Another little tip is to use paper towel to dab excess paint from, but I actually forgot my paper towel here. So I will grab some in just a moment and we can get started. Okay, so let's get started on swatching the pencils and seeing what kind of pigment and colors they have to offer us. And it says here to pull, hang tab out to slide out draw. Oh, that's so cute. That's such a nice design. Ah, that's nice. Oh, it comes with a brush. Okay. Oh. Ugh. Okay, let's get that cleaned up a bit. Okay, that's semi-okay. So with some brushes that you get, they do have a a waxy kind of film. I don't know what it is, but it keeps basically the bristles straight. If you press down kind of rough, not too much that it's going to permanently indent the paper. And then you kind of just start lining it up, just like that. Can you see that okay on camera? Yeah, you can. So you go from light to dark. That is a gradient right there. So it's a gradient from dark to light. And that is a really good way to get an idea of what the color is going to be like when you apply it to a really rough, darkened area, and again to a light area, and what it's going to look like. Okay, so they're all drawn out. Now, the thing to remember with watercolor pencils is that you don't even have to add water to use the pencils. Like, if you want to just stick to having the pencil drawing itself and just do a drawing like that, you can do that. There is no problem with that at all. And if you want to do little bits in the drawing that you do want to add some water to and to have like a different two-tone effect, absolutely do it, because that's really creative. And yeah, art is all about expressing. Now, if you apply water from the dark side all the way to the light side, if you begin at the dark side, you're just going to get dark all the way through. It's not going to create a really nice gradient. But if you apply it from the light side and take it to the end, it's still pretty much going to turn into a bit of a mess. So what you want to do is you actually want to start in the middle. And what I mean by that is literally in the middle. Obviously, as shapes and everything form in your drawing, there may not be a particular middle, but you know, do best you can. So let's start with the red. Okay, so what we want to do, we want to get some water on our brush, not too much, not too little, but just enough. If you do get too much, just dab it on the bit of paper towel that you got. So let's start here. So what we want to do, just nice and easy, you just want to stroke your brush just down, like just gently. And then you want to go up here. And there you can see that it goes from dark to light. So it does take practice, so don't think that you're going to do it absolutely instantly, but it is a nice little trick from going from in the middle, and then you run your brush down to the light bit, and then you follow it back up into the dark bit. So we'll try it now with this grey colour. So we start from the middle, we pull it down into the light, and then we go back up into the dark area. I don't think I drew enough on that one. That's okay. It's kind of just all turning into one blob. My bad. I'll just stick a big fat L on my forehead. As soon as water touches it, it just smooths right out. You don't need to press hard on the paper at all, by any means necessary, because it, like with the pencil, you don't need to push down really hard at all, unless you really want to. Let's see what that texture would be like anyway, if you pressed really hard. So that's pressing very hard down. Oh. Well, hey, it still blends out. It just makes a very nice deep dark colour. So realistically, you can push down really hard. So just ignore my comment. Let's just go through and apply water to the rest of the colours. Obviously make sure to clean your brush fairly thoroughly in the water every time you change colours, if you're just doing predominantly individual colours. Otherwise they're going to blend together and you're going to turn your page into a hot mess. Okay, so here we have the 12 colours of the gradients. Now with some of them you can't really tell, that's probably just poor technique from me. You can't really tell like distinct dark to light. Maybe you can on the camera, I don't know. A gradient of 2 colours. So let's do, okay, let's do purple and blue. Purple and blue, nice colour. So we'll try with the going dark again. And it's just like a gradient again. So you do very light, very, very light. And it's easier if you do from dark to light as well when you're drawing. Just the pressure of your hand, it kind of flows a lot nicer. So we'll try doing... So again, we'll start from the middle and kind of just blend it. And then we'll go back again down. So I guess that's semi-gradient, right? Well, it's, you know, a gradient from like dark to light. So basically they're just the general techniques I know of, especially gradient. And, you know, obviously if you want to do a solid color, you can definitely do that. If you want to do 2 different tones of colors and meet them in the middle, you can do that. Really, these lovely little pencils and really any sort of form of art is completely up to you. Try it out. Just grab a piece of paper, draw things, draw it at different pressures, draw it at different angles, add different colors to it, and see what you do. It really has no boundaries when it comes to this sort of stuff. So my camera decided to stop recording and not record the second half of actually finishing the butterfly. So sorry about that. So ultimately, yep, this is what I'm left with. Do I like it? No. But did I enjoy using the watercolor pencils? Yes and no. I do recommend using them, so just because I didn't particularly do a great painting with them, doesn't mean that they're not. Like, I did actually also try doing a giraffe and it looked a bit demonic, so let's leave that in the shadows, shall we? If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, that would be greatly appreciated. And if you have any tips and tricks for me on how to use watercolor pencils, please leave them below because that would be greatly appreciated. I want to enhance my skills, so obviously I want to relay better information than probably what I did in this video. But neither here nor there, I am a learner as well with watercolor pencils, so regardless, everybody can learn and start somewhere, so that's important. It doesn't matter what your skill set is with everything, you start somewhere. If you're not already and you'd like to be, hit that subscribe button down below. I do upload videos every Friday, and if you want to follow me on other social platforms such as Facebook and Instagram, I'm on there as well, at Beckles, same way it's spelled here. I post daily content on those, or pretty much nearly daily, of my pet portraits that I do for people, as well as just general artworks. So if you're interested, hit those follow and like buttons as well, and join me on my journey. But for the meantime, I will see you in the next video, and I hope you have a fun and dandy day. Bye!